Guess what? Today we're doing sweet potato pies in the air fryer. Get your pie crust ready and poke some holes to keep from the crust boiling up. This is my first pie, and I put it in the air fryer for, I think I had it in there about 10 minutes actually. But just keep an eye on it because you want to pre-cook your pie crust so it don't overcook when you put your filling in. So I turned the air fryer down to 300. Now, these potatoes I baked in the air fryer also, and I had them in the fridge for a day or two before I made the pies. So if you notice when I mix the butter in there, you still see butter. It hasn't melted. And that way you don't have to worry about the eggs being overcooked or just cooking in your hot potatoes. I put a half a stick of butter in there. And next I'm going to add my half a cup of brown sugar. Light brown sugar is what I use, as you notice. Then I'm going to add about a cup of sugar. I didn't use it all completely because depending on the time of the year, the potatoes may be sweet on their own. I'm using some homemade vanilla a friend of mine made and gave to me. And I did a spoon of that, and then I'm going to use about a spoon of butter flavor as well. Actually, I used a little more than a spoon of vanilla. And I'm going to shake some cinnamon. Go ahead if you want ginger in it or nutmeg. Go ahead and use it. This be a good time to add it. I'm just more about the cinnamon when I make my pies. You notice I put 2 eggs, but it's probably a good thing if you put 4 eggs. Also, I'm going to start off with a cup of milk. Canned condensed milk. Got a little sugar left in there, so I'm putting the rest of the sugar in there. And then I'm going to get my little blender started. I love this blender because just using a blender in general because it's almost like having another hand in the kitchen. And I'm taking like the big chunks and trying to get it into the middle so the big chunks of sweet potato can get blended also. The white stuff is basically the butter, room temperature butter, and I'm adding the rest of the milk. So in total it'll be like 2 cups, whatever's in the canned milk. Notice it's getting smoother and smoother. Making sure I'm getting the potatoes off the side from the bottom. Yeah, I'm just going to let it spin for a while. This is actually a low setting. And in the meantime, I'm going to, I saw Carla do this. And she just wrapped the edges with foil. I think it was to keep it from your edges from burning, basically. So I'm just going to try this technique out. This one I'm adding a little bit more holes to it. I took my first pie crust out the air fryer, and it looks like our mixture is just about ready. I'm gonna blend it up some more because I want it nice and smooth. I'm taking some of the potatoes from the top because at the bottom, a lot is just strings from the potatoes, so we don't want that in there. So I'm going to take that off and put that aside. And I'm going to stir, make sure I don't see any strings or anything like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put my mixture into the pie crust. And remember, the white that you see, that's just butter. Don't be alarmed. I'm going to put this in here. This is my first time doing a sweet potato pie in the air fryer, guys. So I'm trying to play with the temperatures and the time. My next pie crust came out pretty good. I did not foil the edges, so I'm just experimenting to see which way I like. So my first pie is in the air fryer, and it's set to 300. I didn't want it too high, and I'm just constantly checking it every 5 minutes or so to see what it looks like. So I think at the end it was more like maybe 15 minutes. I had it in the air fryer on 300 for each pie. But just like the stove or oven, it's possible, different air fryers cook differently. So you want to just keep an eye on it and make sure it looks the way it is. And when you do take it out, make sure it's not jiggling or wiggling. I'm trying to use my grandma hands to take the pie out. Boy, that looked really good. My edges definitely did not burn. And believe me, they were done. Here's my second pie. I actually had to let it cool down some because my grandma hands, I'm sorry, it was not working properly. Delicious. And get your favorite side of ice cream or Cool Whip, whipped cream. I just love it with my pie.